careful before they chew me. Derek Ejekum is a member of the NPP's communication team. Prince Derek Eje is a senior national communicator for the NDC and former presidential staffer. And then Mr. Mark Ewusi Ako, Election Watch Ghana. Did I do justice to it? Prince Derek Eje.
Well, I'll forgive you. Today's my daughter's birthday.
Oh, so that is why you have. I'm asking you if I. Okay, Derek, did I do well?
Yes.
Thank you, Mark. Did I do well?
You did very well.
Thank you.
You did very well.
Your scorecard is good.
Thank you.
The big conversation on 3FM Sunrise. The big conversation on 3FM Sunrise.
Gentlemen, welcome and thank you very much indeed for your time. How's it been for you so far, Derek? So far, so good.
God is doing well. God is keeping us. As I always indicate, what we are expecting is that the government will deliver on its promises to alleviate the plight of the ordinary Ghanaians. I always say this, and I keep mentioning that if as at today, Eric J hasn't disbursed the Jumeirah 2025 cohorts, it's troubling and it's worrying, because you promised the young people that you will set them up, you will establish them. And if till today disbursement hasn't been made, if till today the Women Development Bank, we don't hear anything about it, it leaves a lot for us to desire. And so God is keeping us. But what we are expecting is that the government will deliver on its promises that it made to the ordinary Ghanaian to alleviate their plight,
Right.
and to alleviate their concerns. 15 months, teachers have taught and they haven't been paid. Nurses are struggling. Everybody is struggling in this country. Doom saw all over. And so we are just hoping and expecting that the government...
So it's done so back.
Yes.
I thought the ACG said there were changes, some transformers.
So you see, all these comments comes back to my position about we being principled in this country. When the situation happened previously, and then the minister went on to say that it wasn't even Doom, so it was Doom CCA.
What was the evidence of the CC? Now we can see the transformers, somebody will say.
You can see that because but there were maintenance ongoing. There were reports that indicated that the maintenance was
Maintenance on what?
on our transformers, because people were complaining that they get their lights cut in the evenings.
Right.
And we all appreciate the fact that the load becomes so much in the evening because everybody is home, and then we are using...
But these are new transformers.
No problem. But procurement doesn't take a day. And so,
That's
yes. So these are things that it all comes back to how we handle our politics in this country. Today, you want us to understand that it's not Doom So, it's Doom CC. But some years ago, it was Doom So and not Doom CC. So I believe my brother, my senior man, my boss, my mentor, my everything will be in the best
You are patronizing him.
will be in the best position to talk to us about some of these things.
Prince Eric, are you also feeling the brunt, or you Idebi Keke?
Well, good morning.
Use the mic for me.
Good morning to all your viewers and listeners. First, I would have wanted to say something about La.
Okay.
And especially put you to your word on making sure that there's peace and stability in La.
The people don't want it.
No, we want it.
They are not serious about it.
No, we want it.
They are not serious about it. You can't help people who don't want to help themselves.
But there's a new effort, and I want you to be part of that
new
effort.
They will come back to it again.
No, they will not. We will.
Small land, small demolition they went to do. They have Osu is fighting like they are not serious. They are not. I'm a bit serious.
No, but that's on a different level.
It's the same thing. I'm a bit serious.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that
serious.
You are talking.
I don't join unserious people.
No, I'm saying you're talking about a totally different thing. You're talking about people talking about striking over land. I'm talking about getting our institutions to work.
I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying it starts from somewhere.
Yes, once we get our institutions to work.
When the containers and the squatters were there on that same piece of land, Osu didn't fight La, neither did La fight Osu. As soon as demolition happened and the land became bare, Osu started fighting La, and La started fighting Osu.
It is not also fighting lion, fighting Osu.
They are fighting each other.
No, some people are fighting each other, trying to steal that land that has become bare. I agree with you. I listened to you. That's why I said I wanted some clarity on that, because you also come from La, just the same place I come from, and you know the history of that whole stretch. Nungwa owned. Then Gamashi came, La came to the center. La owns all of that stretch. Osu didn't exist. We gave them land. Teshi doesn't exist, but for being
Boss,
La.
let's go on.
So let's put our institutions in place.
We are not doing social studies here.
Yes, let's put our institutions together properly. Have good people in charge, and then land stealing and all those things will be dealt with.
I hear you.
That one.
Mark.
No, just a quick rebuttal.
No, we're finished. That's your initial comment. It's okay. It's okay. Preliminary. It's okay. Mark.
Yeah. So Johnny, a very good morning.
It's talking about Erica J. Some people have texted me thinking it's me. Mine is Derek.
No,
Ajay.
we mentioned the
Ajay.
clarity is clear.
A very good morning to you and to
Mark.
our cherished listeners and viewers. Johnny, there is one thing that I think we need to get our people to know, and also get institutions to work, just as Prince Derek Ajay said. There's this growing consensus of market women and traders rejecting coins, 20 pesos coins.
We've been talking about it. 20 pesos,
Yes.
10 pesos, 5 pesos, 1 peso.
And this has increased the cost of buying products in the market. You know, currently they say pure water is 70 pesos.
It's been going
because
on
of
for the
that.
past 2-3 years.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I bought water this morning and I had to pay 1 Ghana cedi.
Oh, water from where?
Just by your gate. They said it's 70 pesos.
But they don't have
lady
change.
said, yes, they don't have change. And so automatically it is
So she's
going to add
cashing
that.
out.
Yeah, she's cashing out. And last week Friday,
And she will not be the only one.
she's not the only one. Last week Friday, your team at Onua FM, I was with them at the Tema Community 1 TMA.
Right.
And we had that same discussion where we called one lady who sells pure water and asked how much the pure water costs. She said it's 70 pesos. So we asked, why is it 70 pesos? She said where she buys it from, the price has been increased there.
Right.
So we followed through to the woman who stores the
Who
water
retails it?
Exactly.
Who sells it for her?
And she says,
material?
yes, it is 70 pesos for one because the bag has been increased to 15 cedis. So we asked her to give us the contact number of the factory. We called the factory, and the factory says, government have asked them not to increase, and so
That's
they
right.
have not increased.
I remember that they had
But
that conversation.
exactly, but it is the transporters, which is the drivers who transport the water from the factory to the retailers, who have done those increments. And it is bringing some, level of worries. So please, let's use this medium to, talk to our institutions.
I am surprised that the Bank of Ghana itself has not come forward since we started. And I started talking about this 20 peso coin. I remember maybe I stretch it back to about 5 years. 2 years for this government, or nearly 2 years for this government, and then 3 years for the previous. I started talking about it because I saw somebody go with 5 pieces of the 20 peso coin to want to buy an item worth 1 cedi. It was flatly rejected. That day I paid for the woman. It was an elderly woman. And I asked the lady, I didn't know this kind. He said, yeah, the car so
Johnny, why don't you bring the woman at your gate into the studio to explain?
Oh, we have done.
No, I'm talking of this morning. There's an allegation in your studio about somebody who is within reach. Your producer can quickly get the lady in.
No, we're doing big conversation. We can arrange.
Scorecard.
No,
Scorecard
we don't do radio production like that. We produce. That's why we call you.
You're talking about production.
That's
You're
why.
talking about
No.
action.
You produce.
You're action man, oh.
That's why we
You
call.
bring results.
That's why we call. And even those results we call, we produce. We don't just do that.
Johnny, you know one other thing too.
No. So then you would have the audio pattern. It's okay.
I'll be waiting to
So
listen.
John, pin, panye, they sell it for 20 pesos.
Yeah.
Because of rejection of the 20 pesos, now it should be 50
You have to buy
pesos.
5
Over 100% increment. I mean, it makes no
Are you
sense.
serious?
It doesn't. Bank of Ghana, good morning to you. I know you listen to this show, and we want you to be part of society.
What do you want Justin to say for you?
Let me come to you, Derek. Let me begin this. Why is the minority making a mountain out of the mold in this OSP AG matter? Is there a matter at all?
A very good morning to you, Johnny, and to your listeners out there. There is a matter. But before the matter, I'm surprised you are complaining about water being 70 pesos. I'm surprised as you are, because dollar is down, inflation is down, and why is water but it comes back to the other matters that influences the prices of things that you buy here.
Which
You talk about the transporters, so fuel prices up, and so maybe in as much as it is not right for them to be doing that, they are also their expenses may have increased, and that is how.
Are you being serious?
Yes, I'm being serious.
No, you are not being serious. Hold on for me.
It's not about conversation of them, it's about a conversation of all other expenses. Johnny, I'm coming. All other expenses. That's why I indicated that it may not have been right, because you see most of the transporters also do reselling. They buy from the factory and then they resell.
That's what they actually do.
Yes. No, but some of them are staff of the factory and then they do just distribution for them.
Right.
And some of them they buy and then they resell.
Right.
And so they act as though they are middlemen. And so I'm saying that it may not be right for them to as it were shortchange.
So why are you justifying?
No, but I'm saying that they also look at their livelihoods and then
what has contributed to the challenges in their
school
livelihood?
fees have doubled. Transport fares have increased.
Allow him to make
Data is expensive. Rent is skyrocketing. Food is expensive.
Ken has not come back home.
Everything is expensive.
Oral is yet to catch up with you.
Oral is yet to recover in youth. Okay, so Johnny, on to the big conversation.
So even if the company or the factory has agreed with the manufacturers, agreed with government, and the factory insists that we have not increased prices, you say that because it inures to political benefit, we should allow.
No, I'm not saying it inures to my political benefit.
But being ripped up 30 pesos at any time you want to drink water, imagine that you drink 6 sachets water a day. Three, 5, 15. That's 1 CD, 50 pesos.
Yes. The 30 pesos conversation comes to the shop owners. That they do not have the 20 pesos and the 10 pesos.
Right.
It comes to them.
That's right.
But it being 70 pesos, I don't think if you have 70 pesos, they wouldn't accept it. Right.
How do you put together 70 pesos? Tell us how. How do you get to arrive at 70 pesos?
50 pesos and 20 pesos.
Plus 20 pesos,
No, but
that is rejected.
No, but if you are selling at 70 pesos and I bring you 70 pesos, why won't you?
How do you get the 70 pesos?
I have 20 pesos coins in
And
my
then
car.
20 pesos is being rejected. That's the center
But
of the
the
conversation.
center of the conversation is that, look, I can have 20 pesos, another 20 pesos. Then I can have 3 10 peso coins. All will be rejected. But it amounts to 70 pesos. What we are talking about is the central theme of the rejection of legal tender that the Bank of Ghana has not said has been outlawed, which is what has necessitated people now giving themselves prices that have not been approved.
No, but 1 CD for
it's not about the economy being bad.
1 CD for a sachet water is exorbitant. I mean,
So how do you get 70 pesos?
but I'm saying that if I have 70
How
pesos,
do you get it? That's the question.
no, but
No,
Prince,
how
that-
do you get
How
it?
do you put the
Allow one at a time.
Let me make my
please.
point. I'm saying that if you are selling it for 70 pesos and I come to you with 70 pesos, why do you reject it?
No,
How do you get the 70 pesos?
That's the question.
Because they are rejecting
What
the
do you
20
put
pesos.
together?
Allow one at a time, please.
No,
gentlemen.
if they are rejecting the 20 pesos, then they have no cause not to sell the water at 70 pesos.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
So
but
now
I'm
you
saying
agree with the rest
that
of
no,
the
that I'm
audience.
saying that
Okay, gentlemen, let's move on. It's okay. Now hit it for me. You said there's a matter.
yes.
The OSP is being, your side in Parliament says that the OSP is being pushed out of his office. And Hassan Tapuli put it this way, that President Mahama comes to praise the OSP in public and then privately, clandestinely, he's trying to get him out and to dissolve his institution. Is that what really it is?
Johnny, growing up, there was something that my daddy taught me, that okoto senko for me no air kontokwa and bisa said DNSC bisa said nano DNSC
Okay.
because
To wait.
to wit that if you meet people in a squabble or in a fight,
Right.
don't ask them what is happening.
Okay.
Ask them their previous
What happened
engagements
in the past?
in
Okay.
the past, and that will make you appreciate the issues better. When it comes to the matter of the OSP and then the Attorney General, I, for lack of better words, I may want us to look at it in a different spectacle. If we choose the angle of politicizing the issues, we may not be able to look at it in a proper perspective. So why the office of the OSP? The office of the OSP has a mandate to investigate corruption and then corrupt-related matters. I think that is the basic
That's right.
reason for the office of the special prosecutor.
That's right.
And so we had an office that was established in somewhere 2018, 2019, and that was headed by the Venerable Martin Alamisi Amidu, who is, should I say, a former member of the NDC, but at the time, we all know Martin Amidu, having represented the NDC on all fronts. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo appointed him to be our first special prosecutor. They had their issues, and Martin Amidu and the government, they had their issues, and then he resigned. After resignation,
In fact, he called the president names.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
But that's serpent of.
Oh, I have not invited you. Your mic's off. Go ahead, Derek. Go
So they
ahead.
had their issues, and then he resigned. When he resigned, the president of the day nominated the current special prosecutor, lawyer Kisia Jabin, to man the office of the special prosecutor. When Kisia Jabin became the special prosecutor, his first investigation that he began was investigating the PPA boss, who was an appointee of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So it comes to establish the fact that the MPP is not having qualms or challenges with who the OSP office investigates. But why are we at this point today? We are at this point today because some people have some levels of disagreement with the OSP, and the mandate that is being challenged is its prosecutorial powers. They may want to render the office of the OSP as though it is just like Yoko, it is just like these corrupt or these investigative bodies,
Shraj, etc.
and the likes. And so when you're done with the investigations, you get to the Attorney General to handle prosecutions for you. But it leaves a lot for us to desire. We look at this in the political way.
What is there? What is missing?
So Johnny, we have a government that the leader of government business and his chief whip presented a bill to Parliament seeking to scrap the office of the OSP. And the Honorable Mahama Ayariga can't just wake up and present or make an introduction on the floor of Parliament. He is the leader of government business, the president's representative in Parliament. And that is the reason why he sits in cabinet to understand what the government wants to do. And he leads the charge on the floor of the House. And he has his chief whip who whips the MPs in line to achieve the successes of the government business that is presented on the floor. They come to the floor of the House and present a bill seeking to scrap the office of the special prosecutor. One may say they did it out of their own volition because you have their general secretary come out to criticize them and, as it were, chastise them on such a solo ambition that he believed they entered into. And then you have the president come out to request them to withdraw the bill. That was done. But during that same moment, you have lawyer Noah file at the Supreme Court seeking for, as it were, the interpretation of the prosecutorial powers of the OSP. And this Noah lawyer, this Esquire, is a trainee of Justice Srem Sai, who is the Deputy Attorney General.
Okay.
And we have been in Parliament following some of these issues are privy to the position of the current Attorney General.
Even in opposition.
Even in opposition, when the OSP bill was introduced in Parliament, and then they were asked to debate on the subject matter.
Right.
And so, knowing his position then and the happenings of today, leaves some of us in the position that it is something that has been premeditated for a very long time.
How is that different from what Speaker Michael Quay said, that we knew this all along? In fact, it was Nia Ikwe-Otu, former Attorney General, a member of the NPP, a senior member, in fact, who said, we knew what Dominic Ayine is talking about all along. We just played to the gallery. And then Speaker Michael Quay says, yes, he doesn't see the head and tail of what's happening because the prosecutorial powers rest with the Attorney General, not the OSP. How is that any different from what is happening now?
No, you see, I am of the expert's opinion that.
Go ahead.
I am of the expert's opinion that
Right.
the Dr. Ayine knew this even in opposition, even before the setup of the office. And so this is something that I was thinking that just upon assumption of office, they would take steps to rectify what he found problematic. But just when you have the Honorable A Plus sit in an interview and say that he knows people in government who have procured state lands and some are done building, and it's a subject that may call for investigation. Is that the reason why they are taking the steps to hurriedly strip the OSP, the prosecutorial powers? I am of the opinion that if now there's a judgment that is seeking that the OSP is not having prosecutorial powers, and then he may have to seek authorization from the Office of the Attorney General. If it is something that we so believe, I'm thinking that in just about 2 weeks, we may have rectified that, and the Attorney General may have taken steps to, as it were, give some of his authority to the special prosecutor to handle some of these matters. Because you see, matters of corruption, my brother Prince Derek J is a crusader of corruption. That is why consistently from the very first time I met him till today, he talks about Ken Ofori-Atta. He talks about Ken Ofori-Atta because he feels that he must come and to account to the people and all of that. And so if we have an office that is handling matters in that light, matters in that perspective, and we wake up one morning and the surroundings that is leading to we stripping him of that mandate, it leaves a lot for us to desire for. It creates a certain sense around the matter. That is where the problem always has been. It is not just, you see, justice must not just be done, but justice must be seen to be done. And so if what we are seeing is communicating otherwise, it creates a certain problem for all of us in this nation.
Right.
It creates a certain problem for all of us in this nation. Look at the days of when Martin Kwebu was invited by the OSP, when he had altercations with the security of the OSP, and he was locked up and all of that. Coincidentally, the issues about the OSP started after that day.
The OSP has been in office for how long? Since 2017, 2018?
Yeah, the office has been in operation since 2017.
And what has been there since? What has been the achievement, even under your government at the time?
So we all appreciate that when it comes to investigating crime, the little criminal law I have learned, it takes a longer period of time.
No, you're explaining.
No, Johnny.
You answer first, and then you can
Johnny,
explain.
Yeah, that is the point I mean. If for nothing at all, they have given room for Prince Derek J to be talking about Ken Ofori-Atta and all of that, and we know some of the frustration that comes with prosecuting crime, proving crime, and all of that. And so they may not have, for lack of better words, may not have prosecuted or let's say brought finality to a single matter. But when we have people who have money to afford lawyers, I mean very good lawyers, they can frustrate the processes, they can buy time, they can delay the processes.
I don't quite get it. I'm looking at not just the office, I'm looking at the two sides of the coin. The office of the special prosecutor is supposed to stop corruption and corruption-related activities. Yeah. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good. Now, we have had two persons occupying that office. I'm not looking at their persona, per se. I'm looking at what they brought to the table and how that helped us in any way. Martin Amidu continued to complain about understaffing, not getting resources, etc. Kisei Jabin has had his stuff, including armored vehicles, etc.
Yes.
What have we gained from it? That's the question I'm asking you. You have not answered that.
So let's look at it in this light. When the office was established, when Kisei Jabin took over, there was a conversation about the PPA boss. He resigned and still his matter is being handled in court. And so let's look at it from the perspective that if he was still in office, can we look at the quantum of monies we may have lost if the person was still in office? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm struggling to understand.
So, for instance, the issues about the PPA boss, let's look at it.
It didn't start under Kisei Jabin, by the way.
But it's the office. I'm saying the office.
That's right.
Talk about the office.
That's right.
So the office of the OSP found, or let's say started investigation in the matters of the PPA boss under the government that even established the office. And so if his corruption issues and then the corrupt related charges, allegedly, let's say if it is in the region of, let's say, 100 million, and he was made to resign or he was sacked from office, if he stayed in office for, let's say, a year or two in addition, can we talk about how much the state may have lost?
Are we also looking at how much we are spending on the OSP?
No, but there are a lot of offices that what the office of the Attorney General, look at the budget that they ran with. The oral cases, how many have they even prosecuted? How many have been handled? So we are looking at it from the angle that
the Attorney General is in court, that we know.
yeah, but there are certain matters that the OSP is handling in court.
And you say since 2017, not
Johnny,
even one proper conviction.
Johnny, that's why I come to tell you that when you have issues with some of these people, especially politically exposed persons who may have resources, they employ the services of quality and excellent lawyers.
I see.
That can frustrate even the system
So that's
to
the,
buy a lot
that's
of
the
time.
difficulty you have identified with the OSP.
Yes, that is
Okay.
one of the
All right.
issues that we can look at.
I hear you. Let me introduce Senior Andrew Apia Dankwa. Counsel, welcome. He's the Director of Legal for the United Party.
Yeah.
Counsel, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, my brother.
Good to see you in flesh and blood.
Yeah, same here. I'm doing great. Yourself?
Nice. I'm fine. I'll come to you in a bit. President Derek Ejay, why do you want to sack the OSP? What has he done to you? And collapse the office? The minority in parliament, that's what you are doing. Premeditated. You came to power with this mindset and you are going on with the agenda. Why?
Well, I think that when you see a man struggling,
Sunrise
like,
on 3FM.
my friend Derek Ejekum has been struggling for the past few minutes. He's not making his own case, and so I would not stretch his arguments beyond that and make his work even more difficult. The message and the messenger and the body that
Right.
stood out yesterday to have a press conference, for which reason we're having this discussion, is problematic. First, Tampoli. Tampoli is not just an MPP MP. He's a subject of investigation, criminal investigation. Criminal investigation. A man who is alleged to have looted and making a case for the body that is investigating him and trying to demonize the organization and the entity which the constitution. And I think that it's important that you perhaps put
Let's not get
Article
into
88.
subjudicate conversations.
No. I'm not gotten into that.
I'm a child of God.
I'm saying Article 88 of the Constitution is not subject here, is it?
I know, yes.
So
It
if
tells you
you-
about the Office of the Attorney General.
Yes, and that is what is at issue. I don't believe that what they said, that's the MPP, and Baumia for that matter, said through Tampoli, who is an alleged criminal, by the Office of the Special Prosecutor in court, now using the platform of Parliament, which should not be his domain in the first instance, because the Speaker has indicated, and I hope very soon that all those alleged criminals, Galamseyers, etc., in Parliament, whether NDC or MPP, are flashed out. So we'll not be having such conversations early in the morning and be
Right.
discussing progress that is coming to Ghana. You see, Article 88, and I was hoping you would put it on the screen for viewers to get very clearly. It talks about the Office of the Attorney General. It talks about the fact that the duties of the Attorney General shall be, and I think that for those of you who are lawyers, and I believe most of you are lawyers in the studio,
No,
shall.
this is his learning, but he is learned.
I'm a student of security and computer.
So there's
Very
only
well,
one
very
lawyer
well.
here.
You
Let's
see,
give him his flowers.
Ghana has 35 million coaches, and these days it has 35 million lawyers.
No,
Courtesy the discussions that you've been having,
I-
Ghanaians learn very fast.
I
so
would-
let us leave it at that.
I would disagree. I won't.
And when are they outgoing a new coach? Is it today?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
He's there. He's going to make an announcement tomorrow.
Very well.
Yeah,
Okay.
but everybody is not a lawyer. You have
No, I
to be.
didn't say-
You have to be called.
Very soon
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of people called.
People
thanks
have been
to
called to
legal
the
education
chop bar.
reform.
They are not lawyers. You have to be
Chop bar.
called to the proper bar. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But very soon with the legal education reform bill that's been passed, I'm sure there'll be a lot of lawyers in the system. Now, when they say shall,
Right.
it is for a good reason. And when they say may, it's different. And we have entrenched clauses for a purpose. Entrenched clauses in the Constitution are there to make it difficult to just overturn or to inactivate. And the processes for doing so are not by acts of Parliament. Simple majorities or absolute majorities do not remove entrenched clauses. I believe that referenda.
That's right.
And-
Referendum.
Referenda. That's plural.
You want plural?
Yes.
Plural because of what?
No, because you can have several. You don't need to have one referendum.
Oh.
You can have several referenda
That's-
on different issues. And I'm
Right.
saying that those are some of the methods for dealing with such issues.
Right.
And the lawyers in Parliament have always known that. In fact, the speakers of Parliament have
Right.
always been lawyers by default. And so when Speaker Michael Quay
Right.
speaks as a speaker, who was in the chair when these things were being done, and says that what was done was not right. And there's no Attorney General in Ghana who is not a lawyer, except I think Akufo-Addo, who was alleged not to be a lawyer. But every Attorney General by the Constitution is required to be a lawyer. And so when a former Attorney General, Ayiko comes to say what Michael Quay said, that they knew that this office that we're creating was problematic. And it was done under the auspices of a president who had been a former Attorney General and alleged lawyer.
Oh, no,
Akufo-Addo.
he's a lawyer, please.
Some people were refusing it.
No.
Okay,
He said-
I
he said-
withdraw that. I'm just saying that it was alleged not to be.
Yes, yeah, you don't
It was
interject
alleged
allowed.
not to be.
No,
I'm
no,
saying that
no.
there was I'm
He's
sorry.
a lawyer. I
I'm
apologize
saying
for that, please.
No, I'm just saying stating
No,
facts that
no,
there was an allegation. I'm not saying
apologize.
he's not.
Apologize
Okay,
for
fine.
it.
So
Apologize
let's make
for it.
progress. Let's make progress.
Apologize
There's no
for it.
evidence that he isn't a lawyer.
I haven't said he is.
Apologize
And
for
there's no
it.
evidence that he is, but I'm just. I'm not
No,
defending
Prince
him.
Derek AJ.
Okay,
Prince
fine,
Derek
fine,
AJ.
fine,
Please,
fine.
please
I'm saying
retract
that,
and
oh, you should
apologize.
know- No, I retract.
And apologize for it.
I apologize for which one?
Apologize for telling
For
us that.
stating that an allegation
No,
was made.
no.
that
Former
he
former
wasn't-
bar former bar
he's-
president
he's a lawyer.
of the Greater Accra Regional Bar, former
so
Attorney
apologize
General.
for the statement
Please
that you're making that he's not a
retract and
lawyer.
apologize,
Okay,
please.
if you so insist, so it's done. Now,
No, you didn't say. It must be. It must. Nothing convicts a man faster than his own words.
Okay, very
Let's
well,
hear your
very well,
words.
Very well. So he is a lawyer.
Okay, thank you.
Of repute,
Retracted and
of some
apologized.
repute, and named severally in the what do you call
Ghana
it?
law report,
Yes.
etc.
Now, so that is the case, and since you are insisting, it means that he must know Article 88, and therefore must know the implications of entrenched clauses. And he was informed by a former Attorney General who he appointed to be the first office holder of that special prosecutor's position, that this is problematic. And yet he said, wait, if a time like this comes, then it will be dealt with. So they knew. And so for the hypocrisy that is being exhibited today by the MPP, by Tampuli, who is also a lawyer, it's mind-boggling. And I think that he must be made to apologize to Ghanaians for holding a press conference. In fact, Bamia is not a lawyer, right? So he can be excused. But all the other lawyers in the MPP, including the student lawyers like you, must be apologizing this morning to Ghanaians that they took us for a ride. Indeed, they've been outed by their own former Attorney General, their own former Speaker. I think he was a party chairman as well, right? Michael Quay, or he wasn't. It was Freddie Blay. Okay. Now, these people, MPP, they are joking with us. They put, what do you call him, the first one there, that's the one you referred to as a former
Martin
member of
Amidu.
NDC. Because they knew that he had an interest in dealing not just with people who are corrupt, but had a problem with the NDC.
I don't remember him saying that when he was announcing them. And to just to buttress my point, in the first year or first term of President Akufo-Addo, anybody who was appointed, you would see him reading the person's credentials and qualifications.
Yes,
They didn't do
I
that in the
remember.
second.
I remember.
So for
He said
me,
Ken Ofori-Atta was his personal
even
banker.
holding him to account in the first term was to say that you told us that person A had Yale, Harvard, blah 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 educations, work with American Coffee, blah 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 blah, and he's supposed to be the best fit. Look at what he's doing. He didn't do that in the second term. In announcing Martin Amidu, he didn't say that he had something against NDC people.
Oh, but everybody knew why he appointed.
I didn't know.
Oh, then you are the only stranger in Jerusalem. But the point is that he was a member of the MPP, is a member of the MPP. He was a former member of the MPP. He and him, they both knew. We also know.
Okay.
Ghanaians know that Akufo-Addo, if Martin Amidu was allowed to do a proper job, why would Ken be outside? Because he would have nailed him with the Ejapa royalties. Why did Akufo-Addo interfere?
The
For which
corruption
reason?
risk assessment.
Yes. And Akufo-Addo interfered in that case, and that is why Martin Amidu.
How did he interfere? Martin Amidu did the corruption risk assessment
Yes.
without invitation on his own volition as special prosecutor.
And
then he submitted a report to the office of the president. And there was a back and forth. Santiago Bedieto, I remember, wrote a 44-paragraph response to him. Martin Amidu wrote another about a 4 or 5 pager. And then Eugene Ahin wrote another one. And then he wrote again. Eugene Ahin came back to say, look, we have an election to run. We will come back.
The president interfering. He was categorical.
Yes, in the report.
Yes, he was categorical. So it is not my words. It is the fact that he interfered. He named him also as the mother serpent of all corruption. So if you set up an office to investigate corruption, and there's a mother serpent of corruption, who should have been the first person to be, but of course he was president. And so today, as former president, there's a 3-year period within which he should be investigated. Has the OSP initiated anything against him? The key witness in the corruption trial of Akufo-Addo would have been Ken Ofori-Atta, who, when he was appointed, named as the person who was handling his personal finances, who had an offshore company that was stifling. I mean, like, look, you see, he watched Ken Ofori-Atta run away.
Oh.
Yes, before the new government could come into office. That's the OSP. But I am not faulting him. Let me come back to the Constitution. Look, the Constitution is very clear, okay, in that entrenched clause, that all public prosecutions shall be in the name of who? Any prosecution that is in the name of the Republic shall be the Attorney General. Yeah. In fact, there was an Attorney General who actually even made the president, not instead of the Republic, he made it the president versus somebody. I don't remember which Attorney General that was. A very good lawyer, for that matter, a seasoned lawyer who became an Attorney General. One said the president versus Chachuchi Kata. Who was that? Do you recall? A lawyer of high repute, who is mentioned in the...
Please go ahead.
Akufo-Addo, right? That's the name.
President Akufo-Addo.
Yes. But he was a lawyer. And he didn't know this. And he did this. The same mother serpent of corruption is working free.
What
Thanks
has he
to
done?
the OSP. The mother serpent, an office is set up to investigate corruption. What's the first and most obvious destination for starting work? Isn't it the mother serpent? If you go to get the baby serpents, you must cure it at the heart. The mother
don't you think that Martin Amidu was just being bitter?
No,
because
Martin Amidu had been removed.
He had no.
So clean slate for
he had not been removed. He decided that he was going out. Nobody removed him.
Do you remember what the Auditor General Yao Demolobo said? He said, when you fight corruption, what will happen? Akufo-Addo will fight you back. Akufo-Addo was fighting Martin Amidu the whole time, using Bedieto, using the other guy, the communications guy. What's his name? The one who
Eugene
wife
Ahin.
said
Eugene
those
Ahin.
machines and from pauper to
You are doing too many periphery issues.
No,
Go to the issue. Go to the issue. I think you are picking up on people.
No,
go to the issue.
I'm stating facts. I'm stating facts.
So go to the issues because we don't have too much time.
He said his father told him that when you go and meet people fighting, you should not ask what is going on. You should ask what happened. So I'm giving you his father's advice.
You have 2 minutes more. You have 2 minutes more.
So I am saying that the bottom line is that we should not even be having this discussion. We should just go to the Constitution and apply the Constitution to the letter. Now, there is remedy in the Constitution even before a constitutional review process happens. Before a referendum happens to remove this and perhaps decouple, and I think the solution lies in decoupling the Ministry of
Attorney General
Justice from the Attorney General. In fact, I personally, I think we don't need a Minister of Justice. I think that we don't. But even if we do, we must decouple the two. Because the problem, as is being stated, is that the Minister of Justice sits in cabinet with other colleagues and is in government with people who he cannot prosecute. And so the cure was to have an independent. We have a DPP,
so
Director of Public Prosecutions. Why can't we make him independent? Why can't we resource him? Why should we create a new office? Why can't we have just an Attorney General who is not a part of government?
Mike,
that's the solution.
Mark, get in for me. Is this back and forth necessary at all in our fight against corruption?
Johnny, I think that gradually, as a nation, we are disappointing our people in the sense that we have for over the years been fighting over issues of corruption and corruption-related activities. And the system and government or parties that have come have not given us any reason to see to it that we're able to fight corruption and corruption-related activities. I, for the first time that office was established, commended His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo for ensuring that we have an office that is purposely to fight people in high office or politically exposed persons who are involved in corruption and corruption-related activities. I also commended His Excellency John Dramani Mahama when he openly said that office is set up for specific purpose, and he thinks that it should not be scrapped. The bone of contention here is whether the officer in that office is really performing.
Right.
If he's not performing, then we have every right look at the enacted laws and get him out.
He has a protected tenure.
So that is
of 7 years.
That is where another challenge comes from. But I think I will address it. So for me, that office, in this sense, is very, very good to me. I have said that the Attorney General is an appointee of the President, and he is also the legal advisor. But under this regime, we have the former Attorney General, Madam Loretta Brew, who directly advised the President on legal issues. But in cases of all prosecutions, and to ensure that our laws are being enforced, it falls under the mandate of the Attorney General, who is also a member of the NDC. And I've said that it is very, very difficult to see him or any other person, when his party comes to power, see to it that his own people are prosecuted. It will be very difficult. And so setting up that office, in a sense, for me, was good. But I want us to look at these issues in 3 ways. We may not discuss, or maybe one.
Because we don't have time.
Yes, examining the political settings that underpin the rise of the special prosecutors' provisions and the intent of the drafters. Article 88, what does it say? We all know that all matters of prosecution lies in the office of the Attorney General.
Right.
The then Parliament and those who are legal luminaries see to it that there is a constitutional provision that prohibits the office of the special prosecutor to go ahead to carry on its mandate without going for authorization from the office.
At the time, the MPP had 169 parliamentarians in Parliament.
Yes.
The NDC had 106,
Yes.
if my memory
They failed us.
right.
They failed us. And we are back here discussing this same issue. So it means that in the past, all cases that were sent to court by the office of the special prosecutor was null and void.
Oh, no, you cannot say that. The OSP insists that they are making progress, some progress.
But-
you should listen to Mr. Samidak, who speaks for the OSP.
But if you listen to the argument today, it means that he had no powers to have done that. And number two, we should also look at the precise manner in which the provisions operate under the current experience under the law. And then the final part will be evaluating the constitutional objections raised by the critics, which is the MPP, of the legislation under the Article 88 I'm talking about.
I hear
you see, there was a case in US in the early 70s.
Right.
That has to do with the Watergate scandal, which underscored inherent conflict of interest created within many officials, especially in their judicial, department, where high-ranking officers of the state had involved themselves in some corruption-related activities and were to be investigated. In fact, they went through this same battle where others even challenged the constitutionality of that creation of the office. But you see, just as I said, if the Attorney General is the custodian of all prosecution matters, and surprisingly or fortunately we have an advisor, a legal advisor to the President, I find it so difficult and worrying for the opposition led by Honorable Tampuli, stating that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama openly and in the public said the Special Prosecutor's Office must not be scrapped, but have gone behind the doors and asking that it should be scrapped. I think it is a very wrong statement to make.
Why is it wrong?
I told you that under this regime, the legal advisor to the President is not the same as the Attorney General. And we know that is Madam Loretta Brew. And she is part of the executive. Right. And if the Attorney General, that is Martin Ayenini, is in charge of prosecutorial matters, how then can we say that the president have just come out to say the office shouldn't be scrapped, and at the other hand, he's gone behind the doors to say, oh, let's look at it. Let's look at scrapping it. I mean, it is uncalled for. I've said that when His Excellency Nanado established the office, I praised him. When President Mahama also re-echoed that office must stay, I supported it because the system continuously have failed us in the fight against corruption. So we need that office to stay. If the individuals occupying the office are not performing, you have every right to change them. Unfortunately, they have tenure of office. So me, I am not a lawyer.
But you see, Nanado got the applause for putting up the office of the special prosecutor. It was a campaign promise, actually.
Yeah.
But his party and he himself were the very first to fight the OSP publicly. How do you reconcile the two? Do we still need to give him applause?
So I am applauding him for establishing the office.
And then for fighting the office?
So it is wrong to fight the office. An office that has been created independently to fight high officials of either your government or whoever becomes a president's government. So you don't tend to fight it.
But the basis for the fight was about our gold.
Yeah.
With a certain South African arrangement. You remember the Ejapa deal?
Yeah.
That was the basis of the fight. And in fact, nobody commissioned Martin Amidu to go and do a corruption risk assessment on Ejapa deal. He woke up one day and says, it falls within my mandate, I want to do it. And there were stark revelations. Laws not being in existence, and yet it went to parliament and it was signed and blah, 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 all those things. Chief director was stepping his boundaries to do... And not a single person was held to strict account.
And so
why should we be praising him?
For me, I'm saying that I praised him for the single establishment of the office. For me, that is what I am looking at. Just establishing the office alone.
So he cooks the rice, but before you eat it, he pours sand into it.
No, we can.
So you can praise him for cooking the rice, and then condemn him for pouring sand into the rice that he gets to eat.
We can go into criticizing why they decided to pour
sand into the garri.
Into the garri or into the rice. But you see, all we are discussing and all we are seeking to do is that issues of exposing the lack of accountability to the public is very important.
We'll not go to the third one. You have gone.
No, I'm not going to the third one. I'm not going to the third one.
It's okay.
But you see, let me conclude.
No, you are finished.
No, let me conclude.
You are finished. Thank you, Mr. Bayadagwa. Welcome. Now, give us a legal standpoint on this. If I follow these two, we won't go anywhere because they have things they brought from home that they want to say already, not what we are asking.
So, Anthony, let me wish you a good morning.
Morning, sir.
Wish my colleague panelists here a good morning. And your listeners a good morning.
We have gotten to a certain summit. How do we go? Do we go the way of the OSP, or do we go the way of Article 88 and stick with the Attorney General and say, OSP, we don't need you anymore, but let's look at ways to make sure that the AG is functional enough to help us prevent and stop and stamp corruption?
I honestly think that the way to go is to enforce our fidelity to the values and principles of the 1992 Constitution.
Right.
You understand? And once we show our commitment, our unalloyed commitment to those principles, we would find a solution. So now let me give a small background.
Right.
Now, when you read our Constitution, you know the preamble always says out the purpose,
right,
and the values that underpins our Constitution. And so our Constitution, in our 1992 Constitution, we all in Ghana decided that, listen, we are going to run a country that is premised on the principle of the rule of law.
Right.
And then one of the abiding principles will be the principle of probity and accountability. And I think it's for that purpose that in the Constitution, the only ministry expressly stated in the Constitution is the minister, is the Attorney General.
That's right.
Now, when you read the mandate of the Attorney General, and I think I've listened to my colleagues, the mandate of the Attorney General is not just to beyond the prosecution of all matters. Also, the Attorney General was given powers under our Constitution to allow others to delegate others to prosecute matters on our behalf. Indeed, when you read Article 88.4 specifically, it says all suits shall be at the instance of the Attorney General.
That's right.
Or persons authorized by him in accordance with any law. You understand? So I think we must have that in perspective, in proper perspective. Now, we practice.
Sorry, please tilt the mic.
We
Great.
practice our
Fantastic.
We run.
It's okay. It's fine.
We ran this our country under the 1992 constitution to a stage where we realized that because of the partisan nature of what's it called, this system, the overly partisan nature of the system, because the Attorney General is appointed and can be sacked by the President at a whim. Then the underlying principle of probity and accountability is not being fulfilled because the Attorney General can be controlled by the President and by his party. And so then an argument was made that to achieve the principle of probity and accountability, and having experienced what corruption has done to our country, then we needed to create a body that was independent of the president.
Right.
That was the argument that was expanded in the creation of the
OSP.
OSP. So then the key for me was to create a body that was independent. Now the question is, in how the OSP was created, in how the act was couched, did we create a body that was truly independent? You understand? For me, that is the issue. Did we manage? Because when you go into the legality or not of this OSP, my honest opinion is that it is legal, it is constitutional.
Right.
But is it independent?
That's the question.
Because
even the OSP board is littered with appointees of the president.
Is the OSP independent? You understand? And that's where some of us, without sounding too partisan, feel that His Excellency Nana Addo used that position with the purpose of winning the minds and souls of people of Ghana to win power, but had absolutely no commitment to creating a body that was truly independent. Because for all intents and purposes, when you read the OSP Act, when you read the LI 2374, which
gives it the power to
prosecute,
right?
But that the LI was formed, was the work of the AG himself.
Right.
So if I can give you my authority, then I can take back my authority. You understand? And so yes, the OSP, because of the Article 88 4, because of the OSP Act, and because of the LI 2374, for all intents and purposes, is constitutional, is legal, but it fails the test of the purpose, the argument made for which the OSP was formed in the first place.
Could we have prevented getting to this point if Mr. Kissie Jabin and his outfit had decided that, okay, the conversations are about we not having the wherewithal to run prosecutions, so we will just go to the AG to go and seek for approval? What would they have taken from him, and could we have prevented us from getting here?
So if you listen to me well, so per the LI 2374, he does not need to go to the AG to seek authorization.
But that's what the AG is insisting.
And I disagree with the AG's view, because what the LI 273 does, it gives the OSP direct power,
right,
you understand, to decide after having done investigation to prosecute.
Then the LI is unconstitutional.
Please,
allow him. Go ahead.
You see, the LI is not unconstitutional because of Article 88. What's called 84.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
You understand? But my argument is the 884, the OSP Act, and the LI 2374 does not make the OSP independent.
Which is the cardinal thing.
Because
you have to be independent in order to fight corruption.
Exactly.
But now you are entangled.
Exactly. So what they've done is that they've created a parallel institution that is subject already even to the AG. You understand? And so we have not solved the problem. We have even compounded the problem.
So should the president be looking at going back to Parliament, since he has an overwhelming majority, to say, I want to look at this law again and to make the OSP truly independent,
Yes,
if I want to fight
believe
corruption?
That what needs to be done is to have a constitutional amendment and make the OSP the direct a creation of the constitution itself.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
So that the OSP
it doesn't become a sub law of any,
and it's not under the attorney.
AG, right. It's a standalone.
It's a standalone that has its power from the constitution itself.
Okay.
You understand? So from where I'm sitting and having had the benefit of hindsight with how Nana Addo managed the presidency and all, I believe strongly that he just put the fast one on us.
We'll take a break here. We'll
I believe so. He
return.
just put the fast one on us, and that there's
How
absolutely.
do you do that without a referendum?
What is the referendum? I'm say so you do, and I'm usually yeah. So if it is. If we require an amendment to do it, we must do it.
We must do it.
Because we did we did what's called a referendum. We shouldn't treat referendum as if it is a hurdle that we cannot.
I honestly don't think that this government can use that referendum as an excuse.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you have 2/3 majority in parliament.
Yeah.
And if everybody in this country is interested in oral,
Yeah.
and you say you're going to create a special purpose vehicle that would deal with oral and bring us results,
Yeah.
I
So
don't think that anybody will have qualms. Yes.
So beyond that, I think you give me let me hammer on the lack of commitment. Let me hammer on the
in a minute.
yeah. You see, because I think the biggest problem we are faced with in this country, especially with the leadership side, is about lack of commitment. And this lack of commitment cannot only be seen with regards to the OSP issue, but on so many phases. You take the energy sector issue, for instance. The problem we are facing with the energy sector is a fundamental lack of commitment. The reason I'm saying that is, see, when Nanado took over, he had the benefit of the ESLA, the energy sector ESLA.
Right.
You understand? Now, ESLA had a purpose. They didn't use ESLA for the purpose for which it was. Now, beyond that, they went ahead and did what we call the energy sector recovery program, which set out the issues we have in the energy sector and proposed solutions. And indeed, they even predicted that by the time they are done with it, the energy sector would be financially viable, and we won't have energy issues any longer.
Right.
And but you see, the reason why we are having the energy issues, the reason why it's still not financially viable is because of a fundamental lack of commitment to enforce the terms of that program.
I hear you.
Yes, and we see that also with how what's called the Office of the Special Prosecutor was set up. And so I know I listen to you every morning. It's not because I'm in front of you, you are my hero. Because of the journey work you do.
I did for
but
you.
You see, and we must continue doing that work. Because the problem in Ghana, with leadership in Ghana, it's not that they do not know the problems and do not have the solutions. The problem is a fundamental lack of commitment.
Consistently
commitment with that, listen, this is your mandate, and just undertake a mandate. You understand? But they play politics with everything.
My guest in the studio, Prince Derek J, is a senior communications member of the NDC. He said we should be specific about the Derek. Mark Ewusi Ako is also with the Ghana Election Watch. Andrew Apiadankwa Esquire is a private legal practitioner. He's the director of legal for the United Party. And Derek Ejekum is a national communications team member of the NPP. When we return from this break, we will get into the conversation about the Auditor General and a certain Mr. Kodo, and how some huge amounts of money are supposed to have come to him. Well, there's been an apology, but does that end it? We'll see you after the break.